Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. The FBI searched former President Donald Trump's home Monday night. Sources say the investigation is tied to classified information that the former president allegedly took from the White House when he left office. Madeline Rivera has the latest.
As he left Trump Tower in New York City Monday night, former President Trump had no comment on the FBI agents that were searching his Mar-a-Lago home. Earlier in the evening, he did accuse the FBI of raiding his house and even breaking into his safe, an unprecedented move that he called prosecutorial misconduct and a weaponization of the justice system.
To have 30 FBI agents, actually more than that, descend on Mar-a-Lago, give absolutely, no notice, give me a break.
Sources tell Fox the search is related to the taking of potentially classified information after Trump left the White House. Earlier this year, the National Archives and Records Administration said it had retrieved 15 boxes that contained presidential records from Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. The case was referred to the Justice Department.
It's hard to believe that a judge signed off on this if the FBI said, yeah, we could go in there with a subpoena with no problem. The assumption is that there was a suggestion that documents could be destroyed unless the raid was allowed to go forward.
The search doesn't necessarily mean that Trump could face criminal charges, but it does signal a dramatic escalation of scrutiny of the former president.
No person is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Republicans are promising retaliation against the Justice Department. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has threatened to probe Attorney General Merrick Garland should Republicans take back the House in November. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Big Fox's Maggie Hall getting reaction tonight about the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago from one of the GOP candidates from the 23rd Congressional District.
The search at the Mar-a-Lago estate is said to be centered around documents from Trump's time in office. The former president's attorney has confirmed that documents were seized and that Trump and his team cooperated with law enforcement. Carl Palladino, a candidate for the 23rd Congressional District's upcoming special election, called the search politically motivated and chilling. The leadership of the FBI under the Biden administration has attacked parents but done nothing as crime skyrockets in our streets. President Trump is a friend and I stand with him. When elected to Congress, I will work to save this nation from these disordered government agencies attacking our citizen rights. GOP candidate Joe Zeppelinsky was unavailable for comment at this time. Trump expressed that his Mar-a-Lago home is under siege and commented, "After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. They even broke into my safe." Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene took to Twitter about the incident, stating, "Defund the FBI." Big Fox will continue to update you as the story develops further. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
An autopsy has confirmed the cause of death of Kelly Collins, a Corning woman murdered in her home last week. The Corning Police Department has released that Collins died of ligature strangulation homicide. That means she was killed with some form of rope or cord. Brett Hefner is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Collins and is scheduled to appear in Corning City Court this Thursday at 10:30 a.m. After legislation, the word inmate will be rewritten in laws as incarcerated individual in New York State. The change was made by Governor Kathy Hochul after she signed the bill on Monday. The governor's office stated that the change is intended to reduce harmful stigma against incarcerated people by correcting what the governor claims is outdated terminology. The Elmira homeless population is getting some much-needed help. After being forced to vacate their old camp, a ministry is coming together to find a solution. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg spoke to the leader of the ministry to find out what's next for the homeless.
The homeless population in Elmira has gone through a lot in recent weeks. They were removed from their camp under Clemens Parkway Bridge, have been on the receiving end of numerous assaults, and lost one of their friends to suicide. Tammy Bennett, a member of the Sisters Keepers ministry, has made it her life's purpose to help those in need.
So once I started to see all this and started to serve them, it's like now I'm telling God, now I can't unsee it, God. I can't unsee it, and I can't I can't stop doing it, you know, because they need help. They need somebody to just love on them and help them.
Tammy is working on getting a home for the homeless. She's calling it the House of Hope. The house will not only be a safe place for the homeless to stay, but it will also give them a new address that they can use for IDs and other applications. David Hermie Hoteling is a member of the homeless community. Hoteling and another member of the community, Hippie Joe Calkins, will be managing the house to make sure that everyone is safe and following the rules.
It's a screening process. We're not going to turn anybody away, but we got to make sure that everybody that's there is safe and feels safe.
Tammy has just been approved to turn her work into a non-profit organization. Tammy and the Sisters Keepers are accepting donations and volunteers to help them finish funding and working on the House of Hope.
Steuben County Public Health announcing more than 150 new COVID cases since last Monday. That brings the county's total case percentage to over 10%. The county encourages individuals to attend free COVID vaccine clinics to prevent any further spread. Back to school is almost here for the Southern Tier. It's important for parents to know when their kids are going back to school and how to plan the rest of the summer. The list of start dates for schools was just released. These are some of the dates for the schools in Chemung, Steuben, and Schuyler counties. The full list of openings can be found online. Inflation and supply chain issues have caused prices on back-to-school items to increase, but some parents say they're willing to go into debt to get their children the supplies they need. The National Retail Federation says parents think back-to-school items are essential. The NRF predicts parents will spend an average of $864 on supplies this year. According to a study by Credit Karma, nearly half of parents say they plan to go into debt to shop for their kids. Using sales tax holidays and credit and cashback rewards could help ease costs. Your complete forecast is next. Plus this.
The nation is experiencing a post-pandemic pig problem. I'm Marianne Rafferty with a look at why so many pet pigs are being turned over to shelters. Coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, throughout the day, those skies turned brighter, but the conditions stayed comfortable. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Triplett, and noted into Binghamton, you can see that those brighter skies were able to move their way through, and we'll see that through the overnight. We're going to stay under some calm and clear skies, which will allow for temperatures to fall back into those 50s through the overnight, even a few areas into those mid-50s like Bath and Wayland, and then Elmira sitting just around about 59, which is average for this time of the year. But you may also note that there is some of those foggier icons in place, so some patchy, dense fog at times for the morning commute may be possible, so make sure that you are keeping those headlights on. High beams make it more difficult to see, so don't try to put those on. But the bright skies that we gradually return to today will be back in place as we step through really much of the week ahead for us. Sometimes there's some passing cloud cover, but overall, for the most part, we're going to still keep temperatures near seasonal over the next few days. And I say warmer temperatures because there's cooler temperatures on the way for the end of the week. Now, we'll have those warmer temperatures in place through Thursday, so warmer average, about those mid-80s. But what we'll see on Thursday is that a frontal system is going to bring a passage. Could spark up a few showers and thunderstorms, but then it is going to usher in some cooler, dry, but very comfortable conditions to linger all the way through that weekend forecast. So it's looking like it should be a very beautiful summer-like weekend to get out and enjoy, because these summer days are definitely dwindling down. But rolling through what's expected for our Wednesday, still some passing cloud cover in place as we'll be into those 60s through the morning hours, and then by the afternoon we'll hit about 80 degrees by that lunch hour and top off just about 83, which that's what's on par for average for this time of the year. We'll sit at 83 just around Elmira, a few 70s possible up through the Finger Lakes, so a little cooler in some locations, but as mentioned, not going to be very excessively warm. We're seeing that a lot of the humidity that we were dealing with that the last few days was kicked out yesterday with a frontal system. Still, though, on that warmer side for this time of the year under that sunshine as into your Thursdays. We stay underneath some of that sunshine, especially early in the day. We'll top off just around those upper 70s and lower 80s with about 84 into Elmira. Now you're seeing a few of those little thunderstorm icons pop up. It is going to be an isolated threat. It's really going to be a timing threat as that frontal system moves in. So we'll keep an eye on that. But what we'll see with that frontal system as well, not only do we bring in some storm chances, but we knock those dew points down. Now 60s for dew points aren't too excessive for this time of the year. When we get into the 70s, that's when you have the stickiness like we had earlier this week and over the weekend. But with dew points into the 50s, that will bring very comfortable and mild conditions. But when we talk about comfortable conditions, temperatures could be turning to below average conditions for that third week of August. Running from August 14th through August 18th, there is a below average trend trying to edge its way across portions of the Northeast. So we'll keep an eye on that extended forecast, as though for the near future, this isn't well below average, just by a few degrees. 77 though will feel cool, but the weekend forecast at least looks quiet with some slight warming by Sunday.
Twitter subpoenas billionaire Larry Ellison, and Meta rolls out new features for users on WhatsApp. Cheryl Casone has these stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Twitter subpoenas Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison in its lawsuit against Tesla CEO Elon Musk. That's according to a report by Bloomberg. Court records indicate Ellison committed $1 billion towards Musk's $44 billion offer to buy Twitter, making him one of the largest investors in the deal. Twitter sued Musk in July after he pulled out of purchase talks, claiming the platform misled his team on spam accounts in its user base. Well, Signet Jewelers will buy online jewelry retailer Blue Nile in a $360 million all-cash deal. This will add to Signet's portfolio, which already includes Zales, Jared, and Kay Jewelers. The move comes as Signet aims to appeal to younger consumers and grow its online bridal business. The deal is expected to close in next year's third quarter. Meta is rolling out privacy updates on WhatsApp. The messaging platform will soon allow users to leave group chats undetected. It will also offer a way to hide your last seen status and allow users to send messages while appearing to be offline. Meta is also testing a setting that will stop contacts from taking screenshots of view once messages. Some of these new features will be available to use later this month.
You know, the pandemic created the perfect opportunity for people to get a pet with the ability to stay at home and have a friend to keep them company. But while dogs and cats proved popular, so did pigs, with the American Mini Pig Association citing the creature's intelligence, emotional sensitivity, and hypoallergenic qualities as reasons people wanted one as a pet. But as Marianne Rafferty learns, post-pandemic life is creating a lot of problems for these adorable animals.
At one point in time, this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. But then that home sent it to an animal shelter.
These aren't dogs or cats, so a lot of people don't understand necessarily what they're getting into.
It's a growing trend worrying staff at rescue centers nationwide. People who adopted or purchased baby pigs during the height of the pandemic only to start giving them up now that most are too big for them to handle, or because they aren't spending as much time at home anymore.
Mini pigs, that's the nickname for them, or micro mini pigs, or teacup pigs. Although it's a creative spin on words, those animals do get a lot bigger.
But it's not just the size of the pigs, it's how expensive they can be to maintain, especially with ongoing inflation.
Where we would get our feed in bulk at, say, around $21 a bag of food, which we go through 3 per day, is now upwards of $30 a bag.
Officials at Better Piggies Rescue in Phoenix, Arizona are currently looking after more than 140 pigs, some taken from slaughterhouses, others saved from abuse, and some surrendered by their owners. But now they're at max capacity.
I'm getting anywhere from 3 to 5 surrender requests per day. And then because we also help rescue with government agencies, we're ranging anywhere from 6 to 10, sometimes upwards of 12 rescue calls per month.
To help prevent their pigs from being surrendered ever again, Better Piggies Rescue established concrete adoption requirements to ensure potential pig parents are up for the challenge.
Still ahead, with flight delays and hundreds of cancellations, travelers are getting tired of being grounded. But a proposed new federal rule would make it easier for flyers to get a refund for airport inconveniences. That story coming up. More than 5,000 flights were delayed in and out of the U.S. Monday, and hundreds more were canceled altogether. Travelers are getting tired of being grounded, but now a proposed new federal rule would make getting a refund for these airport inconveniences much easier for flyers. Ashley Webster has more from Orlando.
If you read any of the departures and arrivals boards these days at any U.S. airport, it can make for pretty grim reading. All that red, delayed, canceled. It's the kind of situation we've seen day after day throughout the summer. But now the Department of Transportation says it wants to make sure that those passengers affected get the refunds they deserve. And they are now proposing some new rules. Among those, it actually designates what a significant delay means. And the DOT says that would be 3 hours for domestic, 6 hours for international. That would mean you would get a refund. Also, if the airline changes the arrival or departure airport, if the itinerary changes to add connections, if there is a downgrade to lower class of service like first to economy, and also if airline changes the actual aircraft type, which results in a downgrade of available amenities. Those are the main points that the government agency would like to see all airlines agree to.
So I think we'll probably see a little bit of back and forth, and the airlines maybe push back a little bit. I'm not really sure how successful that will be, but this definitely does kind of, tighten what airlines are able to get away with at this point.
The Department of Transportation is now in a 90-day public comment period on those new rule proposals, and in sometime in early November, as expected, the airlines too will put in their feedback, and maybe there'll be some sort of standardized rules when it comes to refund. And with close to 1 in 5 flights now being delayed, the sooner the better.
Well, if you're traveling soon, listen to this. Your dream vacation may in fact be a scam. The FBI and Florida's Attorney General are now warning tourists vacation rental scams are increasing in top travel destinations across the country and hitting Florida especially hard. Carolyn Elliott is live in Orlando, Florida to explain how the scam works.
Imagine booking your vacation rental online, driving 10 hours to a Florida beach, getting there, and then realizing your lease agreement is fake. Experts warn tourists are losing thousands of dollars in these scams. Florida beaches draw millions of tourists each year, but the Sunshine State is also dubbed the scam capital of the United States.
I've heard of several incidents where a family is ready for vacationing and they've actually have flown into Miami or they've flown into Fort Lauderdale and then have actually approached the actual property. They've actually knocked on the door and the owner has come out and said, I don't know anything about this.
Cybersecurity experts warn vacation rental scams are flooding Craigslist and Facebook. Some estimating 1 in 5 rental listings are fake.
I would say somewhere around 20%, 25% are probably fraud listings.
And those who fall for them can lose a lot.
We arrived in Panama City around 11:30. And around 4 o'clock, I got ready to message her through Facebook just to let her know that what we were driving and where we were parked at. And that's when she blocked me on Facebook.
Katie Hall scrambled to find a new place to stay with her husband and their 3 boys, but never got their money back.
$1,400 is a lot, and then extra fees on top of that is, more as well.
Even though scams are skyrocketing, there are ways to protect yourself.
Never pay cash, never pay through money order, and never pay through any means that you can never retract that amount of money back. Because that's what they're looking for. They're never going to ask you for a credit card because they know that that's going to get back charged.
Both Craigslist and Facebook have warned people to be careful when surfing the web and asked users to report any suspicious activity on their website.
Stay with us, everybody. We'll have more after the break. And we hope to leave you with a smile tonight. A baseball card, often considered the Mona Lisa of collectibles, goes for an unbelievable sale price. The famous T206 Honus Wagner baseball card fetched for a record $7.25 million in a private sale conducted by Golden Auctions. The 1909 to 1911 card has been called art, history, and folklore because of its rareness. Fewer than 50 authenticated copies exist. Wagner was a shortstop who played for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the early 1900s. He won the batting title 8 times. The buyer's name isn't yet known. I'm Harriet Wallace. Thank you so much for watching.